What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do a rod and reel review on some of the combos that I had from the past season and coming up to the new 2025 season coming up. And it's not going to really be an in-depth review on all the rods. I'm just going to show you guys what I liked about them and what I plan on getting out of them next year, and a couple other newer rods that I'm looking to get for the new season. So here we go. Starting off, this is a Ducket Silverado. This is a 7'3" medium heavy action rod, tied up with a Daiwa 7'3" Tatula CT reel. Last year I used this in particular rod and reel too, mainly for Texas rigging and bigger swim baits, like the call shad and things like that. Texas rigging, any kind of bugs or sinkholes and things like that, did a lot of work for me. I plan on upgrading this. I don't really need to, but this would be a great Texas rig rod, and I plan on kind of getting a dedicated swim bait rod for that call shed that I was throwing all last year, at the end of the year last year, and it did a lot of great work for me. So not a super expensive rod, rod and reel combo. I think altogether for this is probably in the range of like 300 and under. The rod you could probably get for $100, 130, 140 bucks maybe. And then the reel is probably about 150 bucks, something like that. So, all right, so next up we got the Shimano Curado DC. This is a 7/4 gear ratio, 200 HG. I absolutely love this reel. I want to get another one of these. Kind of use this reel and rod setup. The rod setup is a Tatula, Daiwa Tatula, 7-foot medium heavy. And I mainly used this last year for top water. It was a buzzbait rod, small whopper floppers, things like that. It's just got that right bit of bend to it that kind of just keeps them pinned. And then with the DC Curado, it just helped me get the bait as far as I could without any kind of backlash. So I will be getting another one of these here soon. And right now I got it tied up with a blade bait right now, which I tried this weekend and I did not mind it on here. So it's nice to switch it up and have another opportunity to use a different style bait on here. So this was a great rod setup this year. I think the rod went for, I'm gonna butcher it, probably about $160. And then the DC Curados are usually right around 200, 230, I think. So I might be wrong. I don't have the listing prices right here in front of me right now, but obviously you can look these up. So here you go. All right, so next up, got the St. Croix Mojo Bass rod. It's a medium heavy, 7'1". Don't even pay attention to the reel because the reel is kind of ass. It's not even all that great, honestly. It was on a 7'1" gear ratio reel, but the rod part is more important to me because I need to upgrade the reel. And don't even pay attention to the jerk bait because this was not even the right setup. I was just trying something out this weekend, but I used this rod in particular this past year, switching it back and forth from a spinner bait and a chatter bait, and it worked phenomenal. It's actually a jigs and baits rod setup. But it was doing the job for me. I don't think I lost very many fish this year on the setup with a chatterbait and a spinnerbait. I used the Mini Max not the jackhammers, but the Z-Man Mini Max jackhammers. Oh my god, Mini Max chatterbaits, and then just like a ½ ounce to a 3/8 spinnerbaits, like all season with this, and had no issues with it. So there you go. Alrighty. Next up, this is starting getting into the fun stuff, the spinning setup. So I'm more of a spinning setup kind of guy over a baitcaster. This is a Daiwa Tatula Elite 7'3". This is this rod in particular is for shaky heads, small swim baits, and drop shotting. I specifically use it for small swim baits, and a specific top water bait that I use throughout the end of summer and things like that. It's super light, but it's a longer rod with a pretty narrow tip, and helps with the hookup ratios for anything more finessier. Tied up with a Daiwa Elite LT 3000. The drag system on these things, this is my second one. I love these things. It's either Daiwa or I'm going with Shimano for me personally. So I don't really have a favorite, but yeah, this has been great. So, you know, if I needed to change it up to a drop shot in the midst of things, I can do it, but I prefer having the small swim bait with a little ball head jig, Kitex, things like that, because I could just bomb it out there and have no issues with it. Usually anything spinning setup for smallmouth or smaller, you know, baits for largemouth or smallmouth, I'm usually running 10 pound braid to 10 pound fluorocarbon or 8 pound. I don't really go anything lighter than that. Just don't really need to. I personally just don't. So, but this has been an awesome rod setup. I brought this everywhere with me this year. It's been in every tournament. It goes with me on fun fishing. It's just a fun rod to have with me and have in my arsenal. Alrighty, kind of saving best for last. I got one more rod after this, but with me loving more finessier techniques out on the water, this is the Megabass Destroyer Atomine. It's a 611 rod. This is for your smaller swim baits. You can use a drop shot, a Ned rig, smaller tubes, any kind of finessier baits and things like that. Right now I got it tied on with a little smaller swim bait from Great Lakes Finesse, which did all my damage this weekend, honestly. Right here, it's like their hover rig. It up with a Abu Garcia Revo, and the drag systems on these things, awesome. Love it. I actually kind of want to switch all my reels to Abu Garcia over the Daiwas. I'm kind of going back and forth with figuring out rod and reel and things like that, combos for next year for the ones that I do need. And I think I'm going to be rolling with the Revos next year. The drag system on these things has been phenomenal, and I use this in particular rod and reel a lot when I was on the Susquehanna River, pinning them big river smallmouth down and being able to bring it in with ease. So this was super nice. I do got to get this rod fixed. I got an eyelet that's all messed up, or that's not even on right now. So I got to fix that, get one on here, and go from there. But not to say too, this thing is just dirt light. It's just so light, and you can feel every little rock and pebble on the ground, the surface, and the water. So can't even tell you the price point on these rods. I probably got over $400 or $500 on this rod, or more. I'd probably say more than that, honestly. But highly recommended rod if you're a drop shotter, Ned rig kind of guy, swim baits, stuff like that. This will do it. Oh, and a wacky rig. I used it a lot this year too. So there you go. Alrighty, save best for last. This is the Gloomis GX Dropshot rod. It's a 610. Can't really say much more about it. Gloomis is just top of the line stuff, man. And I finally bit the bullet on it and finally picked me up one of these this past year, and it has just done so many amazing things for me out on the water. Not only it's just an overall dedicated drop shot rod, but I've used it for small underspins or a fluke style technique too as well, and it did the freaking job for me. Again, like the Megabass Destroyer Atomine, This thing is just so freaking light. When you guys actually get your hands on one of these Gloomis rod setups, it's just amazing. I got it tied up with a Vanford, and yeah, Shimano Vanford C 3000 HG. I'm not going to get into like line and stuff like that. But yeah, you can use these rods pretty much to the fullest. You don't have to stick with just using it as a drop shot rod. This year I used it more for drop shotting. Oh, that sounds so good. But I also used it for like a weightless fluke out on the Susquehanna River right here, and then a smaller underspin that I was using from Great Lakes Finesse as well. So these things are just top of the line. You got to really take care of it, and just pay attention how you're putting these things away. That's why I have some of the best rod sleeves in the game. It's called the Rod Glove. Highly recommend these things. These are the spinning setup ones, spinning rods setups. So, and then this is the bait casting setup ones. A little bit of a difference. Let's see if I can show you. There you go. Best in the game right here. You guys need these. You guys have expensive setups or just want to protect your investment, things like that. I actually didn't start doing it until last year because I didn't really have the best rods, and I was kind of getting tired of not having the best rods and not being able to have a little bit more sensitivity when I'm dragging baits on the bottom, and just feeling bites in general. So I ended up investing in better rods and then investing to protect my rods. So highly recommend those. I think those rod sleeves are like $8 to $10 or something like that. So there you go. There's the drop shot rod. Highly recommend that setup right there. But that's what I have currently right now, and I plan on getting a couple other things. I want to get a new dedicated chatterbait rod, actually, a swim bait rod for the cull shad, and then probably one more, which would be a dedicated Texas rig rod. So if you guys have any recommendations, drop a comment down below. Please subscribe. I'm almost at 300. I really appreciate if you guys checked out my videos and hit the subscribe button. And yeah, so we'll see you here soon. It's going to be raining here for the next few days. Plan on trying to get out one more time, maybe do some shore fishing, get a video or two in, and we'll go from there. I'll see you guys soon.